Greetings, everyone. Greetings and welcome. I just want to make this video kind of stream of consciousness type video expressing my thoughts. So this is EverQuest Live. I'm on my Necromancer. I'm level 82. Pretty, beefed up. Just kind of have some gear I picked up leveling. And so one of the things is, one of the challenges that I've had with this game is that the zones are it's actually kind of interesting. I was thinking about this for a while. The zones are kind of imaginative, interesting, and this here is Catacastrum, I believe, not Catacastellum, Catacastrum. And so, it kind of made me start thinking about the lore again. It's how interesting this game's lore is. All these iterations with the Shissar and this, that, and the other. And I'm actually looking for a zone. So basically, with EverQuest these days, I apologize, I'm kind of stumbling around here because I haven't played EverQuest for many, many, many expansions, but there is indeed a zone, and you can see like 60% of the game is kind of taken up, but there's like these little daily quests that I thought would be fun to kind of get back into. I do a lot of this off stream and off camera, so I'm trying to get to this zone here. And so one of the issues with the game that I have is it's like either, okay, so if you do decide to do a map, just give us a map, So like right now in this specific area, there's no map. And I know there's like third-party add-ons and stuff you can get, but just either do something and fully or just don't do it at all, And so I just thought, like, so this zone sucks. There's forums going back like many, many years of people complaining how hard it is to actually find this zone. And I believe looking at these little like teleporter pads is how you get there. However, I haven't really had any success. There's all this like attunement stuff and like, I don't know. I just don't know how to, I don't know if I'm missing something or, yeah, okay. So I'm not really attuned to that one. But either way, like, the game is onto something with like the engine, how imaginative it is. So I was just thinking to myself, if I could somehow, if it was up to me, what would I do? I mean, obviously I need to look at, okay, so I think I'm back where I started almost, roughly. But if it was up to me, what would I do to kind of fix EverQuest? So I would just take everything we've learned so far, and I know that the developers have kind of a tough time. There's a lot of old stuff in the game that probably needs to be fixed. And I know it's just not easy, right? And it almost just seems like maybe they're in maintenance mode. Just keep it simple. There's a there's a lot of people that like this game and they don't want to upset what audience is currently here. But how do you like attract players? How do you retain players? And I think what I would do is start. It's a matter of resources, but I would make a game. I would make an expansion, let's say, right? Just to kind of keep things going. And you can, you could create a world where you could just go full on Dragon Ball GT, you're messing with stuff. The balance of the planes is weird. There's some entity that you can't really, basically something happens. All your stuff gets reset. Stat reset, damage, crunch, everything. We're back to level 1 adventurers, right? Big open world. Lots of lore, group dynamic, force people to talk to each other. Just, bring back those social interactions, So like now I'm exploring this like empty zone, and I mean it seems like it could be really, really cool, and I have never found this place at all. So I'm looking around, and I mean it just certainly seems interesting. This looks like it's under the ocean, and it's like encased in a dome. The world is kind of interesting, but like, how do we bring players back? How do we make this fun? That's the question. That really is the question. Just something to think about. What would I do if I was in a position to have any kind of say? I would do some kind of reset. I would do some kind of stat crunch, some kind of reset, and introduce a way for players to communicate with each other, to work together, make the world really difficult, get rid of all the microtransactions. But at the same time, too, give players an opportunity to solo if they want to, but encourage grouping. Those are just kind of some thoughts as I navigate this very confusing, but also kind of very interesting zone. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being here. And I'll see you in the next one.